Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and hanging out with me for another video. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you today my entire house declutter and organization process. I think it's fair to say that 2020 has been a challenging and interesting year for everyone. I know personally I have been working at home for the last 3 months, and I know for me, spending 24/7 all day, every day at home, and especially when I live in such a small, tight environment, it's really made me take stock of absolutely everything in my home and in my environment. And I think that just having that time at home, making you feel hyper aware of all the things that you have when you're surrounded by them day in, day out, every day, it made me realize that my house was well and truly overdue for a huge declutter and a whole organizing overhaul. And I think as well with 2020, I've made a few pretty important decisions recently, and I just wanted to really refresh my space to be able to reflect kind of that moving forward mentality that I am bringing into the next phase of my life and for the rest of 2020. So obviously with working from home and being in social isolation and lockdown, obviously living with your family in close quarters, my kids had been spending obviously a lot of time in their room. In my apartment, I have my home office set up in the main living kind of area. It's just open plan living. So obviously from a noise perspective, if I'm working from home, if that's my normal 9 to 5 job, or if that is working on YouTube videos, filming and editing and whatnot, obviously you can't have those two things happening in the same place. So they've had to spend most of their time when I've been working in their room. And while they have been keeping their room pretty much picked up and their beds made and everything, I went in there to put some stuff away and I noticed that it was in no way clean. Like there was a thick layer of dust over everything, and I know it does get very dusty in our apartment very quickly. The floor didn't look like it had been vacuumed for a good couple of weeks. I do expect that they maintain and clean to a basic level their own bedroom. They are 8 and 13, so they are well and truly old enough to be able to pick up and tidy up after themselves. But going in there and putting some stuff away, I noticed that it definitely had not been done and that they had not been keeping up their room to, a good enough standard. So this is kind of the catalyst or the straw that broke the camel's back to motivate me to do just a whole apartment declutter, reorganization, and deep clean. I also wanted to rearrange my boys' room and the furniture that was in there to be able to put a desk into their room. Obviously, with trying to keep working from home separate, and also to make sure that the noise factor isn't impacting on my ability to work, I really needed to provide them a space to be able to do their homework and to be able to study. So I literally changed the entire room into every possible configuration to obviously try and get the best use of space and also to fit a desk for their homework/study within their room. I also wanted to give a really good declutter to everything that was in their room, so all their toys, all their clothes, and all their books, and give it a really good clean out. Like as you can see here, that is literally the amount of stuff that I've vacuumed out of their carpet. So I was kind of cranky at this point, I'm not going to lie. And I decided to remove some of the privileges from their room. So while I'm putting in a study desk for them to obviously do their homework and to be able to study, they've lost the TV and the PlayStation in their room. And they've lost a couple of other things as well. So their LED lights under their bed and a couple of fun things that they had going on in there. They've lost those for the meantime. And they will be kind of privileges that are reinstated once they get back on track with keeping their room clean, tidy, and organized. Now, obviously, even though I wanted to give my apartment a refresh and I wanted to put in a desk in my kids' room, I really didn't want to be bringing anything new into the apartment. My apartment is pretty much chock-a-block full of stuff. I honestly cannot fit any more things in this apartment. So it was just a matter of rearranging things from different rooms and just repurposing what I already had and what might not be working well where it is now. So for example, I took the vanity table, the IKEA Malm vanity table out from my bedroom, which wasn't able to be used because the space between my bed and the wall where the vanity is too narrow to be able to functionally use that vanity anyway. And I repurposed it as a desk in their room. I've in fact used that vanity for my own work desk for many years without a problem. And with the size of my boys' bedroom being quite tight, I needed quite a narrow desk to be able to fit in this space and then to still be able to open the dresser drawers. So again, not wanting to spend any money and not wanting to bring any more furniture or any more items into my space, just making do with everything that we already had, and then just rearranging a few things. So the Kallax IKEA shelf that was previously in their room, I brought out into the hallway, and I really like how it is set up here. I really like the look of it, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too wide for the hallway. So it just takes up a little bit too much space. So I'm going to switch it out and take the IKEA Kallax unit, and I'm going to bring that into my bedroom, and then I'm going to take these two Billy bookcases. It's looking like a hot mess because everything's been pulled out, but these two Billy bookcases, because they are skinnier, I'm going to put those into the hallway, taking up less space, and bring that IKEA Kallax unit into my bedroom, which will hold the TV that has been removed and confiscated from my boys' room for the meantime. So obviously, since I'm working from home, I've started packing up all of my heels and whatnot. With lockdown, I am not obviously wearing these. I've also actually resigned from my normal 9-to-5 job, so I don't imagine that I'll be using any of my work shoes or any of my heels for quite some time. I just decided that now was a great time. Although I love the job that I do and I love the team that I work for, it just felt like it was the right time to put an end to working for someone else and then just bring back my focus and attention to working for myself, which is what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 to 6 months. And then I'll reevaluate if I want to go back working part-time somewhere else in the future. So I am absolutely super excited to be taking a break from regular work, and I'm actually just going to be focusing on creating YouTube content for at least the next 3 months. So obviously I've got some annual leave that I'll get paid out when I leave my job because I haven't been on a holiday basically since the whole time I've been working there. And obviously I've got savings and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to just being able to create more YouTube videos. Kind of a little bit scary to not have that sort of security of a regular income. But by the same token, I really enjoy working on YouTube videos. I really enjoy creating content. And I'm just kind of frustrated that I've never had the opportunity to be really able to focus, all of my attention. YouTube is something that has always been something that I've kind of had to jam in around real work, around obviously my kids and being a parent. But I've never had the opportunity to really focus on, making it a full-time job, or to be able to focus as much effort as I would normally put into, a normal job. So I hope you guys are looking forward to having a lot of extra content coming your way. I know I am super excited about it. So if you've been watching my videos and you're not a subscriber, now would be an awesome time to hit that subscribe button and really support this channel, because it's kind of all that's going to be supporting me and my family for the next couple of months. So hopefully this works out. Obviously the YouTube channel has to be busy enough and keep enough obviously views to be able to support myself and my family. But you know what, if it doesn't work out, the worst thing that could happen is that I have to go back to work and get a part-time job somewhere else. Hopefully also I don't get sick of making YouTube videos, 2 or 3 times a week, and that viewers don't just get sick of, the content that I am creating also. I do have a ton of different video content ideas that I want to be putting my effort into creating, that I just haven't had the time available to really invest in. So besides obviously the cleaning and organizing content, which I still will continue moving forward, definitely wanting to, move into a couple of different areas. So stay tuned if you are interested to see the new kind of content that this channel is going to be bringing. Now, my last day with my job is still a week away, so you have to give 4 weeks notice on my contract term. So I still have a week left at my normal job. And then after that, one of the things that I'm most looking forward to is just being able to spend normal working hours, really working for myself and really working on this YouTube channel. Normally, I spend Monday to Friday just doing 9-to-5 job, and then I spend usually a day and a half of my weekend time working on filming and editing YouTube channels and all that kind of YouTube related business admin type stuff, which has meant it has just been so overwhelming the past probably 12 months since I've been more consistently creating YouTube videos on a kind of a weekly basis. It's just meant that my life has just been pretty much 24/7 working. So whether it's working for a PAYG like job, regular job, and then doing YouTube on top of that, it's meant that it's just kind of taken over my entire life, and I really have had no real free time just to be able to spend with, family or friends. Because normally on the weekend, I will spend either half a day Saturday plus Sunday filming, editing, uploading. And it's actually really quite consuming. I know people probably think that how hard can it be to make a 10-minute video, but it's actually hours and hours of work involved between filming and editing and then recording a voiceover. One 10-minute video can actually take 5 or 6 hours to actually create. So obviously, again, that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, is just being able to take some time back for me, for personal time, and just to be able to really dedicate that whole normal 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, that I'd normally be working for someone else, just be able to create the content that I want to put out on my channel. And just for me to be able to, really feel like everything that I'm doing is for my own benefit, not building someone else's business, or not, putting in all this effort for your income and for your remuneration and your salary to be determined by someone else. This is the one thing that I really enjoy about working for myself. And one thing that YouTube really can afford is that your rewards are directly determined by the effort and the input that you put into it. Now, obviously, if I had just been doing YouTube for the past 5 minutes, I would definitely not be taking that leap and taking that huge risk, replacing my regular income with YouTube income, which can be quite unpredictable. But I have been doing this for the past 5 years now, so I have built the channel up to a point where I feel not only quite confident in my own abilities, but also in, the kind of growth that I can reasonably project based on the level of content that I'm intending to be creating. One of the other reasons that I resigned from my job and I've decided to kind of take that leap of faith and put all my energy and effort into this YouTube channel is because I never want to get like 5 years from now and say, I wonder what would have happened, or I wish I had of, or I really think I could have. Why didn't I try? So at least I'm putting that to bed, and I'll never have that kind of feeling of regret, or that I should have, I would have, I wish I had of. Okay, so I think that's about enough of a life update. So obviously with all of that change going on in my personal life, like I said at the start of the video, I really wanted to refresh my space and really do a huge declutter, because now I am really going to be spending 24/7 working from home, and just making sure that my space was in alignment with my kind of future vision for myself personally and professionally, and just to really make the most of the second half of 2020, especially wanting to put the first half of the year, which hasn't been, really so great, put that behind me, and then really focus on making the absolute most of the second half of 2020 and beyond moving forward. So just taking a look and checking in at where we are up to. Obviously, I have got my bedroom at kind of an halfway there state. So got that Kallax unit sort of set up, and I am going to change this throughout. It's not 100% how it's going to end up just now, because when I am, rearranging and changing the furniture around, usually I will go through a whole bunch of different stages until I find it just exactly how I like it. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of stuff that needs to be taken care of, but we're kind of just moving from one stage and getting all of those last few bits and pieces, which really doesn't take that long, to be able to rehome them, put them back where they belong, and get this room sorted out and under control. So at the moment, I've just been putting everything into the hallway that needs either sorting out, that needs some kind of attention, and some washing that needs to go through the dryer, some things that I'm going to add to my charity collection, and just some things that need to get sorted out and rehomed. A mirror that needs to find a new space, some washing that needs to get done, Now just checking in on my boys' room, the status or the progress so far. So obviously I have put the vanity that used to be in my bedroom into their room to use as a desk. I used to use this as a desk for a long time and it is absolutely perfect, especially in this situation. They need quite a narrow desk to be able to fit in their space so that they can still use the drawers and open them from the dresser. So this is going to work just fine for now, and as you can see it is still a work in progress, but I just wanted to get the furniture mapped out before I start bringing things back in. Now this section here is something that the boys are going to have to go through when they do get back from their dads and take care of decluttering and organizing everything that's in that shelving system. Now for a quick sneak peek at the rest of the house, which is looking like a total hot mess. I have done more rearranging in the meantime. I've returned my desk back to where it originally was. I had previously moved it to that wall because the glare from the big windows is quite significant on my work monitor and my laptop, which I've set up over there to make sure that there is no glare, and because it's got a nice backdrop for video conferencing calls and whatnot. But just moving my own home office desk back to the original location. Again, this is open plan living. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, so my work from home office setup is in the lounge, dining, kitchen, open plan area. Don't have a separate dedicated office space, so it is just kind of out there in amongst everything. And I had it across against that wall previously, but now moving it back, and obviously with moving it back I've had to pull everything out from the shelving unit. But I think putting everything back in, again I'm going to go through and do a huge declutter of everything that is in the office area. And as you do go through a decluttering process, obviously with everything that you pull out, you've got to put it somewhere. So I just stick it on the kitchen bench, and then I will just go through it and deal with it later, and just go through the process of deciding what I'm going to get rid of, what I'm going to keep, and then with what I'm going to keep, figuring out where I'm going to rehome it. So I know that it definitely looks like a hot mess, but I don't want anyone who's watching this to be put off or discouraged by the fact that, you know, when you are decluttering and when you are organizing, it does have to get worse or messier kind of before it gets better. And you can't really go through everything and do a really thorough declutter, you know, without creating some degree of mess. One thing I can 100% assure you though is that when it is decluttered and when it is put back in an organized way, it is going to feel 1000% better.
I've been feeling so small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
The fire system test is now complete. Thank you.
Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette.
So just taking a little break to get some cleaning motivation. No, I don't actually usually watch my own YouTube videos to get cleaning motivation, but just to check in on the progress. Another little bit of rearranging. So moved my perfume tray and the mirror up onto the top of my vanity. Onto the top of my chest of drawers, I mean. and just the progress of the bedroom, which is looking 100 times better, and another box of stuff that I have cleared out. So taking an archive box that was just a kind of a mismatch of some photo albums and memorabilia, and also some photos of my puppy dogs, and I need to add to my photo albums. So cute, my little bookie. Even when she was a puppy, a teeny tiny little Jack Russell, my kids have been asking me to get a dog, and I'm just like, oh, that's a lot of commitment. I had 2 dogs previously. My oldest dog, Wookie, she died when she was 18 years old. So that is a long commitment that I'm not quite sure I'm quite ready to make just yet. But anyway, pulling out from that archive box, it had a lot of the like warranties and documents for things. I went through them and discarded all of the ones that I no longer own, and just keeping the ones that I need to keep in one very neat, tidy IKEA plastic storage container. So now this one can get loaded up with charity things, and I think these things can potentially go into one of these IKEA baskets, which are at the moment quite empty. Something that I do definitely need to find a permanent storage solution for is all of the lights and equipment that is required for the YouTube channel. So I have 2 lights and a tripod, which are quite bulky and take up a lot of space, and I don't like having them just out and about all the time, but I don't want to have to pack them down to have to reassemble them every time they need to be used. So I am thinking that, again, since working from home and now not having a office type job, I'm going to be able to do a massive wardrobe declutter and pack up quite a lot of the things that are normally in my hanging space, so that I can potentially put the lights and the tripods and all those kind of bulky YouTube related things into the closet space. So the shoes that used to be out on display, I have kind of culled a little bit, and now they are just sitting inside the wardrobe. But I think I can go through these even further, get rid of a few more pairs, and potentially pack these up into kind of some less frequently needed to access storage. So I'm not going to be needing to use these shoes every day, but while I don't want to get rid of all of them, I have gone through and gotten rid of quite a few. I can potentially pack them up into, places where I don't need to frequently access them, but they are still there if I want to use them, because I will be going out obviously, and I don't want to repurchase all of these shoes. But by the same token, I don't need to have super easy access to them every single day. Now just taking a look, at my hallway is still looking like a pretty hot mess, but it is getting there. So again, I do have some stuff that I'm just in the process of working through, like laundry and whatnot, some bags that I just need to pack up and figure out where I'm going to store them, and then some bits and pieces that I just need to pack up for charity, and then some pieces that I just need to put away in the places that they actually belong. And now just a quick sneak peek at how the hallway storage turned out. So these are the Billy bookshelves that were previously my shoe storage in my bedroom. I had that letterboard with the Killer Queen quote. I'd previously moved it into my bedroom, but actually this is one of the things that I really like. I've had this sign up for probably a year and a half, and I have thought about changing it, but I really like it, and it's something that I really like. When I walk through the door, this is the first thing that I see in my apartment. So even though I have had it for quite a while, I love it, and I'm going to keep it. I mean, obviously the styling of these shelves is going to change often as I feel like it. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about having the shoes on display, or like that you can see them and it's kind of, it's not so 100% aesthetically pleasing. But you can get doors obviously for this storage unit. So if I don't like the way it's looking, or if it is too kind of cluttered looking, this is just sort of a testing phase. So I just wanted to test out how it would look with this style of storage along the hallway before, I committed to buying something like actual shoe storage units, or units that had potentially either sliding or opening and closing doors. So before I go to spend any more money, I'm going to try and use whatever I've got just to give it a test run and see how it looks and feels. And if I'm happy with it, then I will invest the money in purchasing something else. I really quite like how the books look out here on my shelf, so I have removed these from the shelving unit that is out beside my desk, freeing up one of the shelves for other office related equipment. The white plastic storage units that are from IKEA, they look pretty clean and nice and tidy, and they are not, a terrible eyesore in my opinion out here. So they just look plain and clean. I normally have these white plastic storage containers out in my desk area, but also in the TV unit, which I want to replace for something a little more kind of decorish, like these baskets. Now, since I removed my vanity from my bedroom, I had to repurpose the storage bench that was underneath it. And I decided to put it out as kind of a makeshift coffee table slash footstool, because when my kids and I sit on the sofa and watch a movie, we would often use this little footstool to prop our feet up. So my youngest son and I just sit in these two seats, and then my oldest son kind of spreads out on that chaise longue thing, however you call it. So he takes up that, and then my younger son and I have got something to put our feet up, because we just all pile onto the sofa and watch family movies together. Then we can use it for kind of a coffee table situation. You can put a tray on it with drinks or whatever you want. But it is these plastic containers that are in the TV unit that I really want to switch out. So while they are super practical and very, very useful for keeping, a lot of your kind of everyday kind of items that you need to have, but you don't potentially want to have on display. And again, office is looking like a hot mess because it has had to have everything pulled out before it gets put back in. But those plastic storage containers, as great as they are for, hiding all of the things that you don't necessarily want to have out on display, but you have to keep. They're great for the home office side of things, and I don't mind them having them stacked up in that shelving unit. But from kind of a home decor point of view, I don't really like how they look from that TV unit. So I want to replace those with something that is a little bit more baskety. Now, I know it still looks like kind of a mess, but there are just literally a few more bits and pieces that I need to either go through and decide keep or go. And then we are on the home stretch of this first half of my whole home declutter and reorganization total makeover.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I want you. You make me feel so alive. Can't stop thinking about your day and night. Love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch. Every time I'm down here, you make me smile. You're the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution.
So the next day when my boys came home and they recovered from the fact that I had confiscated their TV and their PlayStation and their LED lights and all their other fun stuff, I told them that if they got their act together and if they went through and sorted out and decluttered all of the rest of their toys, books, clothes and whatnot, that they could, if they kept their room clean on a continual basis, earn back piece by piece the things that I had taken away from them. I think that they have to understand that, you know, a TV and a PlayStation in their room is a privilege. It's not a right, and you can't just expect to keep it if you don't look after it. I know it might be a bit harsh for some people, but I certainly never had a TV or a PlayStation or half the things that they have in their room growing up. So I don't want them to just grow up thinking that they can, you know, treat their stuff however they want and it was being treated pretty poorly, and that they won't have any consequences. So they got stuck right in cleaning their room, which I was super proud of. I know when we were decluttering, it was kind of a little bit a bit of a long process at the start because I was asking them too many things. Like I was asking them, do you want to, do you still like this? Do you still keep it? Do you play with it? Do you use it? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to give it away to charity? Is there someone that that could be potentially taking this and using it better? That was just way too complicated. And at the end, all we did was asking 2 questions, stay or go. And we just went through every single thing. So every book, every toy, every knick-knack, every item. And it was just a case of, we had a big box and it was literally stay or go. And just by asking that one question, stay or go, stay or go, stay or go, stay or go. And I managed to keep them really focused and really on task. And it was much easier by just asking that one question, where they could just make a snap decision. So guys, that just about wraps up this video. As I mentioned before, this is part 1 of a series in my whole house declutter. So if you want to see the second half, where I'm going to be decluttering my home office, the kitchen and the bathrooms, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And then following the whole decluttering process, I'm going to be filming a highly requested apartment tour. So if you enjoyed this video so far, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It is really great feedback for me and it lets me know that you do enjoy this type of content and for me to keep on making it. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel before you go. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to subscribe, to like the videos, or to leave a really helpful or lovely comment. I try to respond to as many comments in the comment section as I possibly can. And moving forward, I hope to be able to respond to all of them. I hope you have a fantastic week. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.